Welcome to Michael Cole Thursday Night Live. This is episode 294, and we're still in search of awesome. And when we find it, we bring it to you. And we have some awesome sauce on steroids for you tonight, Miss Elizabeth Vandergriff. She is from Glam Salon. She's actually a prodigy of Miss Paige Cruz Lowe's, and Elizabeth works for the Glam Salon in Grayslake, Illinois. And salon owner Pamela M. Pamela was a guest on the show a few weeks back. And of course, Summit Coach Kerry Johnson is in there as well. And I just, actually Paige blew in my ear and said, this is one of my graduates. It's kind of her prodigies. And she was just very giddy and proud of Elizabeth. So actually, as a result of Paige referring Elizabeth to me, Elizabeth here's with us this afternoon. In 2020, she spent most of 2020 as an associate. Had a great year in 2021 for being COVID. 50,000. She's trending to do 75,000. As a matter of fact, I got a bet with her that she'll probably blow right through that at 32 hours a week. And you can see she's a level 3 already. And she's not far away from cracking L4, 24 years old. This is interesting about Elizabeth. Her average service ticket's $130. And when you compare that to her haircut price at $48, that's almost a 3-time difference, which tells me that she's really engaging her guests in services that go way beyond her core service. So she pre-books, she had just an off-the-chart January. I think she said 93% pre-book, and she's really blowing it out of the water with RTS as well. So you can see that the stats are nothing short of amazing. She'll tell us her story, but in a nutshell, she graduates from high school in 2015 and hair school in 2019, does a little bit of college. I'll let her tell you that in her story. 2020, she graduates from the associate training program. And in 2021, she jumps from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. So she's on fire. Now, if you want to follow her, and I'd suggest you do, her Instagram handle is Elizabeth_Glam Street Salon. And if you want to, DM her and any comments that you get or insights that you get from the interview this evening, she would appreciate that. Or perhaps you have a question or two that you want to run by her. Feel free to do that. Now, she's in my green room now, so I'm going to go get her and get her talking about her story a little bit, and then I'm going to get her to see if I can share a little bit of her secret sauce with us. So there she is here. I'm going to put her on full screen. We're going to unmute her, and you are going to make Elizabeth feel nice and welcome. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, my friend? Thanks for giving us a few minutes tonight. I know that we've both been looking very forward to your visit, and I can't wait to get started. Thanks for coming.
Of course.
Well, we always like to begin the conversation with the story, because so many of us find ourselves in part or all of somebody else's story. And I love your story as it kind of relates to the journey that you've been on and some of the people that you know and I know. So who are you, and how did you get from high school to this biz and on the track that you're on now?
Yes. Okay. So I'm Elizabeth Vandergriff. Nice to meet you. No, I'm kidding. But I started right out of high school. I was so passionate about being a nurse. So I went straight into the college route, hitting the books. I did that for about like 2.5 years, and I switched majors about 3 or 4 times. I did not know what I wanted to do at that point. And my best friend at the time is a cosmetologist, and she was like in my ear the whole time saying, go to hair school, go to school, like you're gonna be amazing. And I finally broke down one day. I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell my parents I want to go to cosmetology school. I was so nervous because my mom's a teacher, so I thought like education route, only. So but they said like, finally you understand, like you see what we see. So the first like beauty school I went to go tour, signed up that day and fell in love with it. And that first week I knew that's what I wanted to do and that's where I wanted to be. So yeah, that's how I got into
Yeah.
cosmetology.
And you were, I mean, you were Paige's her associate once upon a time. And as we were having the conversation before tonight, you told me that you actually knew Paige when you were a sophomore in high school and you're besties with her sister. And now you and her sister are roommates. And so that kind of gave me a connection as to how did you meet, Paige Cruz. And I know that she's left her footprint on you. What I want to ask you though is there's always this part of our story where where you kind of pivot from college nursing, and it says that must have been a tough conversation with your mom, by the way. How did she receive that?
She was totally supportive and like I said, she was like, finally you see what we see, like go do hair, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
she thought, okay, the light bulb went on, and now she can be a little bit less nervous about her daughter. So, what there's always this point in the story, though, Elizabeth, where the lights really kind of the sides of our brain box gets blown open, and it's almost like somebody pours nitroglycerin on our bonfire, and we really see, and whatever speed we're on, it like gets turned up 4 or 5-fold. What was the big aha, the big bang for you?
So like my big bang, I feel like right after school, I jumped right into a salon that I thought I was gonna love, and I started an associate program. They were a part of Summit too, so I loved that. I loved the goal aspect of everything, but I didn't feel like I was getting the full potential of my training program. I felt like I could be learning a whole lot more and just being further trained a little bit more. So I decided to jump ship and make the scary move from a different trainer to a different salon as well. So that's when I started at Glam Street, and Paige was just starting there as well, and she said she needed a new associate. So I joined Paige, and just the love and support throughout the whole team, really pushing you towards your goals, making sure you need making everything possible there.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
Orientation.
Right. So as you were kind of catching us up to your life, a question actually came in. I thought a very interesting question from looks like Alina Meyer said, "Can you ask her if she can do the numbers that she's doing without associates or assistants?" And I don't think you're working with one, are you?
No, that is when the team comes in handy.
Okay.
That is when I use the team. And if I know it's going to be a really tough day, like I'm going to be really, I have to be on time. I will reach out to my team ahead of time and be like, guys, I'm going to need help blow drying, or I'm going to need help rinsing. Like, can you jump in and help me really quick?
Yeah. And that,
yeah.
to me, that's a major, major, major game change when you have the culture where the norm is we help each other. So there's no such thing as, gee, if I've got 15 or 30 minutes rather than getting lost in the back room, there's real comfort about enlisting somebody else's help because you're there for them when they need help. And that is very unique. There's many, many, many salons that don't have that value. It's like you're on your own.
Yeah. And that's why I love Glam so much, is because we are such family oriented, and we will be there if we can spare 2 seconds, we're there. And that's the major part of how I've gotten where I've gotten, is that's the main thing, as a team utilization for sure.
So you're saying I could not be where I'm at and do what I do on a daily basis without that piece. That piece, I call it a KSF, a key success factor. And if you don't have that piece, you're probably not going to be able to get to grow more, better, faster.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, that's important to hear.
And just the way that they're able to help you, you need to be able to make sure you can help them if you can. Like, it's a give and take as well.
Right. So you and I were chatting before the show tonight, and you made in 2021 twice as much as you made in 2020. And we did the math, and it was like your life got $500 a week better last year than
Mhm.
the year before. And right now, it looks like your life got another $500 a week better than last year. There's a lot of people that just they haven't had the opportunity to experience that kind of change in that part of their life, their lifestyle, their standard of living. Talk about what that's like for you now, and how more money has brought something in your life that wasn't there before. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Of course. So being able to grow the way I did, what I was able to go out and purchase my own car by myself. I was able to move out of my parents' place finally. I was so happy to do that. All the freedom. And then just being able to get something if you want to get something. Being able to get Starbucks whenever I want to get Starbucks, not having to worry about pinching every little penny. And like once you get a taste of that nice paycheck that you have all that extra free money, like free, like money, yeah. And once you get that one taste, that you're gonna keep working for that, and you're gonna want that every single time you get paid.
Yeah,
So
right.
I think
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, and it's almost like forever we have too much month at the end of the money, and all of a
mhm,
sudden we start getting a life, and you go, "Whoa, I have way more than enough money, and have money left over at the end of the month, so I don't have to be stopping, pausing if I want to go have a cup of coffee." Or
yeah.
because I've got, there's fuel. I'm moving from scarcity to, we'll call it, prosperity or abundance. And you can talk about that all day long, but until you really experience it, and you're experiencing it now, there's always a gap between the actual experience and what you're able to say about it.
Yeah, definitely. Um, just being able to, and then also being able to just keep going. And yeah, I don't really.
Well,
Sorry.
the you don't have to worry about, will I have enough for the car payment on my new car? Right?
Yes.
There's more than enough, and that's a great feeling. Now, I wanted to ask you a couple of other. I want to pivot a little bit, because you and I were having this conversation before the show. I said at some point I want to kind of move from the story. I'm really curious about what you're actually doing to be growing at the speed that you're growing. And your answer kind of blew the sides off of my brain box. I wanted you to talk about what that is that you would say, "Oh yeah, this is definitely one of
Mhm.
my, my secrets of success."
That would definitely be tracking numbers outside of your book. Like the book is a great tool, just to keep like day to day, but really breaking down how much you want to make in the month, and then going down into weeks, into days. And then if you didn't hit your numbers that one day, how much do you have to add on to make your week total? And keep just breaking it down, and just double checking your numbers, triple checking. If you really want to jump to that next level and further your success, really being on top of your numbers and tracking everything,
Yeah,
for sure.
and that's what kind of blew my mind. That I don't know how many times I hear getting really clear about, first of all, the big number, what I'm going for this year. And today, with the calculators that we have, the artificial intelligence automatically breaks it down for the month, the week, the day in service and retail. In the old days, you had to kind of figure all that out, but now it's there, and it's kind of like on your eyeballs every day. You can see the number somewhere. You show up to take a peek at your day, what it looks like, and how far away you are from your numbers, and what you're going to do with the day to hit the number. And if you don't, to add on. I mean, when you were telling me that you were doing that, that blew my mind, because frankly, a lot of people would go, "You know what, that's too much. I don't, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
But what's your stance on that? If somebody doesn't do that, what's the natural consequence for them? What if you weren't doing that?
I just feel like you get so, if you don't break, and my reasoning for breaking it down into smaller numbers for sure is to make it not as scary, because having that big number is scary, and then having it broken down is less scary. So that's just like easing your mind. I feel like if you're just looking at that big number, you're just kind of psyching yourself out in a way.
Right.
Um, so really breaking it down and making it more manageable for yourself.
Yes.
Definitely.
Right, right. There's something about, that old saying, by the yard it's hard, but by the inch it's a cinch. And
Mm-hmm.
people, when they break it down, they're surprised that
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, that's not that much more than I'm doing now. But until you break it down, you just assume it's too much. Why try?
Yeah.
So that's what I got from your share. But the other thing I'm getting, Elizabeth, is like you're on that every day. Like that's part of your daily rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that you're always, 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 every day you're pivoting in some way. Gee, I hit it yesterday, so gee, I've got a little bit more wiggle room today, but I think I'm going to push it a little more. Or I didn't hit it yesterday. How much was I off by? I'm going to add it to today to see if I can catch up. And there's
Mm-hmm.
something about that gets you more, better, faster to your goal. Would you say that that's real for you?
100%. And it keeps you more accountable for yourself and making sure you're just on track of your goals. It's all about goal oriented. Like if you want to be somewhere, you need to set goals for yourself. And if you had a higher day, raise that goal. Keep raising your expectations for yourself. For
Right.
sure.
Right. Well, the other thing, I've been teaching this for years and it's part of my life. So when you really start looking at it and you go, okay, if this was my chairside manner, my daily rhythm, we're almost gamifying our work life. It gives us something to focus on. It keeps us from falling into what I call robot mode, right? Where I'm just, I'm kind of doing hair mindlessly. I'm mindlessly talking to my clients. And the good news is you're comfortable, but any growth that you get from that is accidental. This is
Mm-hmm.
why I decided to call our interview that you're leaning in, you're locked on, and you're leveling up, because this is what you do every single day.
Yes, yes, and I love that you said that you're gamifying it, because I love to just call it a game. It's a big game to me, and it's fun. I make it a game, so it's fun.
Yeah, well, I've
Yeah.
listened to hairdressers for years that don't do this, and they'll go, after a while it gets boring. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, do you do this? Well, no. Why would I want to do that? Well, that's what keeps it from being boring. It keeps us challenging, inspiring, and where you're always, like you said, if you're hitting it, you go, you know what? I'm going to turn up. I'm going to raise the bar. I think I'm going to raise my goal. So, and that the other part I wanted to get you talking about is a lot of this stuff you learned when you were Paige Cruz's associate. Talk
Yeah.
about how that experience kind of left its mark on you, and it kind of became your on ramp to what you're doing now.
I would say the associate program, since it is such an intense hands-on program, I just wanted to continue that. And I loved that Paige was so adamant of making sure we're educating the guests on like why we're using it, what is it going to do for them, not just using something to use it. So I incorporate that into my own guests too. Like I start off my consultation being like, I am going to talk a lot about products towards the end, just because I want to make sure you're educated about what's going on. So the big thing is like education, and then furthering just tracking the numbers after every day in the associate program. We had a debrief where we talked about the numbers, what worked, what didn't work. And I sometimes still do that with Paige at the end of my day. If we're working together,
Hmm.
I'll sit down and have a little debrief with her myself. And my roommate and I, we do that at home too. So just continually find your person within your salon and kind of have like your own little team with between you two, and have a debrief, hold yourself accountable for your numbers. That's how I continued from the associate program into be my own little stylist,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's how I got to where I've been.
Wow. So, and you're saying Paige's sister Sam is also a hairdresser, and she works in the salon as well.
She does. Yeah, we all work together.
Oh, wow. So that energy, that consciousness, you're kind of like marinating in it all the time, and that's what continues to motivate you to push the envelope, huh?
Yeah. And
Well,
funny, we all have a little healthy competitions between the levels. We'll be competing against each other, seeing who has the best month. So I feel like it's just a healthy competition at the end of the day.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to. We're coming to the end of our conversation. I want to a couple of things. One, promise me you'll come back for an encore because my bet is that this is your encore year. That whatever you did in 2021 is going to pale in comparison to what you're going to end up doing 2022. So I'd love to have you back.
Of course. We've had a bet, so I have to hold up my end of the deal.
Yeah, that's right. I bet you that you would
Yeah.
blow right through 75. The other is people that watch this, and there's people watching tonight. There'll be a lot of people watching over the next few weeks. The recording. They're not where you're at. You're at a place that you used to be, and frankly, maybe they're at a place that you used to be, and they're not at your place yet, right? And but they're looking at you and listening to you and identifying with you, but they're not sure that if they go for what you went for, will they experience what you're experiencing? And is there anything you can tell them that might kind of motivate them to go ahead and take the risk, take the shot, take the jump? They have nothing to lose. What would you say to them?
I would say, of course, take the jump. Like, it's scary when you first take take leap. But once you take that leap, the sky is the limit, and you can just keep growing and make all the money in the world, guys. Come on.
I
But
love it.
also really track your numbers and be genuine with your guests. They will appreciate that, and they will see that clear as day. If you're completely genuine and you want the best for their hair health or skin or whatever you're doing, just really being genuine at the end of the day.
So don't look now, but you just gave the secret sauce answer to how to fast track to $100,000 a year W-2. All right. Well, thank you, my friend. I'm going to let you get on with your evening. It was just wonderful to have you. We're going to give it up for you one more time. And keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Say hi to all my buds at Glam.
I will. Thank you.
All right. I just loved her energy. And, the essence of great ideas, I think, is simplicity. And some of this stuff gets so simple it almost insults our intelligence. So it's really simple to understand. Not easy to do. It's not easy to focus on your numbers every day to go, okay, what's my goal today, and what's my day look like now, and how far do I have to go to hit my goal, and what am I going to do with each client to get closer to my goal? Boy, it forces us to pay attention and to focus and to stay very present all the time. And there's some people that just don't want to do that. They're just going, I don't want to do that. But that's what gamifies, I think, it, and she talked about it eloquently tonight. That's what gamifies the experience, and frankly, causes us to grow more, better, faster, and farther. And I say to people all the time, if you're not willing to do that, then you're not ready to grow. Now, can you grow if you don't do that? Sure, but it's a slow drip. I call it kind of this natural, organic, inch by inch, little by little. But if you want to grow fast, far, you got to lean in. You got to lock on. And then you're going to level up. So it's just an extraordinary conversation tonight. Going to give it up for Elizabeth one more time. You are watching Microphone Millionaire Stylist. We recorded this. It's to live on the page. We'll also, you'll see some of this on my my Instagram page as well. We do reels now, And I might even take some excerpts from the conversation tonight to Reels. I'm probably going to invite Elizabeth back to do an Instagram live with me. So, and it's the same handle on Instagram, Michael Cole, millionaire stylist as well. So hang out with us over there. We have calculators on that page to set goals. That's all compliments of Summit and L'Oreal. We have micro learnings on our IGTV channel of taking the 1 or 2, 3 minutes highlights out of conversations that you can watch. That's kind of a tutorial. We got a brand new website called summitsalon365.com. It's where we put more of our production value video, our courses. And I have 3 courses on that .com as we speak. There's a nominal annual subscription fee. You can pay it at once or you can pay it monthly. To me, that would be a must-have if I'm a salon, especially a Summit salon. And if you're new to the Summit, you can schedule a virtual consultation where one of our 120 plus growing coaches would be more than happy to do a private Zoom with you to show you what's possible in our online coaching services. So we've got 5,000 salons now that are on that platform, and they're growing like crazy. So we always end with the expression of gratitude to L'Oreal Professional. Summit Salon Business Center is an exclusive business partner of L'Oreal Professional product, Biolage, Pulp Ride, Kerastase, Pureology, L'Oreal Professional, Redken, Matrix, Shoe, and Mazzani are all brands that are part of their mix. So, to the degree that you support those brands and get your guests to use those brands, it puts L'Oreal in a position to continue to support the work of the Summit. So it's one of those for the good of all and the harm of none. So please continue to support them. Been a great interview tonight. Going to let you get back to having some din with the fam. And we will see you on Monday for another surprise guest. So have a good ride. And I'm going to say hi to my friend Don Murphy. Good to see you. See you later.